Okay, so Saint Cat. This is my book. This book, it's not just a book, it's a timeline, it's a personal story, and it's a work of art in itself. It began with a series of paintings which I developed over a 5-year period. All of these paintings are visual expressions of what I sense, and it's sensing. They're my emotions, and I express them in a visible and tangible form. I actually strongly believe that all emotions can be felt physically. They have a movement, a texture. I'm using colour, texture, light and mark making as my tools. That's my language. And I'm visually expressing what I do not have the words to say. So in a way, all my paintings actually become a dialogue with myself and communicating what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling to my awareness. I'm both conscious and unconscious at the same time when I'm painting. So you can see in this book, there's the paintings and there's short pieces of text. These pieces of text came much later, much later actually. They're the narrative and the story behind the paintings. And these paintings are the story of me, of my life, my childhood. Previously, the story is only visible to me in the painting because I know my own language. But now they're visible to anybody else who cares to read this book. I actually paint in real time. This one here is a good example of this. Raw quality. By that I mean I'm actually responding to myself in the here and the now. When I painted this painting, I was actually completely broken when I painted this one. I experienced both a huge loss in the present, and at the same time I was reliving a lot of negative experiences from my past. I was actually really raw emotions in this painting. And I actually used the art process to calm my nervous system, calm myself down. So while I was painting this one, the canvas was on the floor. I was curled up on top of it, and I was actually caressing the paint with my hands into the canvas. And this is how this entire painting is painted. It's just painted like this. And that motion of softly, quietly caressing the canvas with the paint made me quiet and still, and I then became tranquil in myself, which is where raw quality comes from. It's the space between rawness and calmness or tranquility. I have a current work as well, which I'm currently working on, Beautiful Days in Paradise. They're a series of paintings I began in November, and these are also painted in the same way. When I'm painting this way, I'm acknowledging and responding to what I'm feeling at the present moment. And the Beautiful Days in Paradise, it's a series about grief and loss, but also joy and gratitude too. Other times when I paint, I also just go to the feeling. So I'm actually painting in memory of a feeling, but when I go into the feeling, I'm actually reliving it too, even though it's a memory. And that's what I'm painting, expressing. This one behind me here, the Dance of Shakti. That one's painted in this way. This painting, this one's actually about the subtle energies that we all have in our bodies. I actually all believe we can feel if we are tuned to ourselves. It's about the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine. And this painting is an expression of the feminine. I actually feel most alive and most joyous when I'm in the feminine mode. It's flowing freely, it's soft, it's all-embracing, but it's also very strong. It's so strong. It's a feminine that holds spaces, it holds you, it holds others, it holds the world. That's where I'm most at home. There's actually a general thread that goes through all of my art. Every piece of art that I do is a journey in itself, and it's also part of a larger exploration. And what I'm exploring is what it actually means to be human. That's what interests me. So each piece comes out of and flows into each other. They're all connected in the same way that we're all connected. And they're all anchored simultaneously in the past, the present, the future. They're both conscious and unconscious. They're both controlled in a way, but they're also very free and painted without restraint. So when I'm doing my art, I'm actually making visible that which is not seen, but felt